We're live. I'm gonna wait. Oh, this is so backwards. Okay. We haven't been live in a hot minute, so I'm gonna post the link and publish. How are you guys? What's happening?
Remember when we used to do this every week?
No, when we were during COVID, we did this every day.
That was too much.
That was a lot. And here we are doing like one a year now. This is terrible. But what's going on, guys? Let's see. So drop questions, comments, whatever you have. Oh, actually, our Club DTU members. Hey, John. Good evening. A couple of our DTU members already dropped some questions for us to answer. So while we're answering those questions, drop them in. We'll fill you in on everything that we've been up to. But let's get to those real quick. So let's see. All right. Club DTU members. Robert asked, Mike, was there any changes made with your engine program?
Yeah. So towards the end of the season, we already had some stuff freshened for the end of the year, and that went really well. We had our 358 program was really good this year, thanks to Yves LaFrance, and we had some really good big block races, and our big blocks have been done by Finger Lakes Machine and JPM. They're kind of splitting it up because we do a lot of big block racing.
Yep.
And
it's a lot to keep.
And our short track Super Series engine was done by Bob Brunel, and we really had great results. The engines had really good reliability. I think we had a water pump issue at the end of the year with a bent mandrel, and that was just kind of a dumb thing, and we're getting that fixed. And we got some big blocks out for rebuilds that are going to get some changes with cylinder head combinations, bore and stroke combination, just trying something a little different. And then we also have my favorite motor is fresh and in a car that's pretty new and ready to race. So we got a lot of things to look forward to. I think we're working on trying to get a big block that has some more horsepower for the bigger tracks. We looked at the Super Dirt Car Series schedule for this year, and there's a lot more Lebanon Valley. There's some Sealands Grove. There's Georgetown, the Sharon and Ransomville swing. They're all probably going to require more horsepower than what we're used to. Like when we run weekly at Albany, Saratoga, and when we do, say, the Summerfast series, those tracks don't take as much top end power because they're all like slicker, smaller tracks. And so one of my goals for this off season is just to get some big blocks that can really perform well at those events, so we can get better throughout the entire series.
So Billy wasn't kidding. He's actually in the chat.
Oh, what's he got?
All right. We're bouncing around here. We got all these questions. So Billy said, Shane would like to know, live from the Team One party, how come we didn't get invited, by the way, if there is such a thing as a Team One party going on right now? I am very disappointed. If he makes a difference when he's pit side. And then he also asked, Todd wants to know when the Team One podcast is coming, which that's my question. So you can answer about Shane.
Oh, Shane makes a big difference when he's pit side. He's a really smart guy, knows his stuff with Dirt Modified, and he was a huge part in winning the big race at Grandview earlier this year.
Yeah.
And
that was one of the questions. Who asked, where is that? Jeffrey in Club DTU asked Mike if you'll be defending the Bruce Rogers Moneymaker title.
Yeah, we'd love to go and run that race again. Had a lot of fun with it this past year, and we looked at our I don't know, end of year finances and added things up in percentages and things like that. And our best money earnings and stats that you would say is with non-sanctioned events, such as that one. So it's something that, are one of our strong suits, I guess. So we'll have to try and do that some more.
Oh gosh, where am I going with? Oh, so Billy, for your question to me, Todd wants to know when the Team One podcast is coming. Guys, what do you think? Give me like a thumbs up emoji. We're thinking about having Billy do his own podcast show. So he's gonna like kind of do a podcast or Track Confessions takeover with him and his crew, guys. I think it's gonna be entertaining as hell.
They are big time entertainment.
Yes.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So drop like the thumbs up emoji if we should do that. And then Billy, that'll be the telltale right there. But hopefully they like you and they want you guys. Oh, John's already on it. Thanks, John. So Mike, people are asking about Florida. What's the game plan with Florida?
You mean going there for Christmas to hang out with
we are
the Pauch family Christmas?
Yes. So we are going to Florida for Christmas, but assuming they're talking Volusia.
No plans for Volusia at this point. We're again back to the motor program issue. I just don't feel like we have the right engine to take there at this point, but working on it. And I'd love to go, but I want to feel like we're going with a competitive piece. So most of our stuff is just like really good on a short track, but Volusia's he takes every bit of horsepower you got. So especially in qualifying the heat races and stuff. Features sometimes you can come through a little bit, but you want to be starting up front. So the whole night's important. You got to put it all together.
Yeah. Billy and his guys are going to do the trek again this year to Florida. Michael asked, are you going to be doing Mr. Dirt Track USA in the spring at Lebanon Valley? Now, we picked up they're doing 2 Mr. Dirt Tracks.
Yeah, they're going to be two Mr. Dirt Track USAs. We're running the Super Dirt Car Series, and they're going to have 2 of those for points. So as soon as we sign the contract, we will be required to attend. So there's a definite we were going to be there. So definitely going to be there.
The next one, Travis asked about Hagerstown, but he says the second night. So did you look at that, Mike? What the calendar looks like for that? Because that would be, I'm excited. I mean, we'll see. Oh, that's because it's Brockville weekend, but that's probably the small block day, and that would be the big block day, right?
Yeah. So same thing again. If we, which we're probably doing, we're going to be signing the contract to run the Super Dirt Car Series, and when the Brockville races against Hagerstown, we're not going to be able to go to Hagerstown. So that's just part of the deal. When you pick a series to run, tends to be conflicts. Yeah. There wasn't as many this past year.
No,
we were able to
nice.
Run almost everything without conflict this year, other than the 358 Dirt Car Series conflicted with a couple of the short track Super Series events this past year. But this coming year, there's going to be a conflict there, so won't be able to do that.
Yeah. Dominic asked, how long do big block engines last?
Well, that's a good question. They used to last about 2,000 laps with the right side panhard bar, and now with the left side they go about 1,000, maybe 1,500 if you're lucky. Motors are being pushed to their limit a little more. We're getting a lot more traction, and cars are staying gripped up throughout the night even when the track's getting a little slicker and used to slow down more. We're keeping the speed up pretty good, and the motors are working every lap. So you'd say if you race in events where it does slow down a lot and they're high lap count, then those laps aren't as hard as the heat races and the different things where you're really gripped up and you got your foot to the floor the whole time. But it's hard to say. You basically you put good parts in them, and you take good care of them. You change the oil, and you keep the cooling system, at the right temperature, and don't over rev it.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it lasts. But these things are very huge variables in the whole situation.
Yeah. So I'm feeling like I'm getting old, guys. Robert Moore asked, how do you stay focused on work and racing? You do a lot of racing, so it must be hard.
You talking about me?
It ain't me. How do you stay focused on work and racing? I mean, I guess it could be an open-ended question.
Well, I mean, my work is racing.
Yeah,
so
same.
if you're asking me, then
Yeah.
Staying focused it's more about between, I guess I would say, like, home and racing. I mean,
Keeping that balance.
The balance between, with racing, you don't spend as much time at family events and things like that throughout the season. Kind of have to miss a lot of things, and it's part of the schedule we run and everything. But for Mandee, between work and racing, I mean, why don't you answer that?
How do I balance that?
Yeah.
I don't. They just all.
You just do it all?
Yeah, I just do it all.
She just puts in a lot of hours.
Yeah. You gotta do it. It's what you enjoy, and I don't know. I mean, I try to find a happy balance. It's not always easy, and you can't make everyone happy, and you can't even make yourself happy most days. But yeah, that sounded really depressing. No, it's good. It's a good balance. I mean, we talk about all the time how we try and figure out our schedules ahead. I mean, I think it was right before you left for PRI. Some of the series and tracks already started dropping their schedules. So we already put it in our calendar. We're mapping it out, looking what makes sense for the team, but where we're going to be and how to be efficient with it. Mm-hmm. So I see some more people popping in. What's up, guys? A lot of questions. Okay. Thank you, Ryan. Said that we're a wonderful couple and loves watching you race. That's awesome.
From Oregon.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Let's see here. Kevin Sipe. How is the setup? Rear weight, right side, weight stagger. I watch you sometimes. It seems like you dial yourself out. Do you race the track? That's definitely you question.
I don't know how to answer that question, but how's the setup? Rear weight, right side, weight stagger. I watch you. I guess I could just sum up that all of those things are big factors in the balance of a race car, and all of it has to work together. There's no real perfect combination, and it's really hard to find something that works for your driver. Mm-hmm. Everybody drives a little differently. The racetracks are all a little different, and other factors like people's engines are different, and they have different weights.
Yeah.
For different classes and just different packages or different weights. So it's just figuring it out, and trial and error is the only way I've found. I haven't really got into the super scientific end of it.
Yeah. So I think I should be able to answer this one. Colossal Community Podcast asks, will you be doing the indoor racing this coming year? Mike is not. Billy will be. I think the first race is Allentown, like the first weekend in January. So as soon as the new year kicks off. Oh my goodness. Where'd the questions go? Ryan asks, do you do any kind of racing off season to help keep you dialed in for race season?
Kind of racing off season. I don't. For me, I feel like I race. Let's see, we raced 82 races last year. Mm-hmm. I do enough racing during the season that I probably will perform better next year if I just completely forget about racing for the off season and get away from it. Kind of get a little bit of a refresh.
Yeah.
And go in fresh and ready to go. So it's not a very long off season. I mean, we're already counting down the days. It's not very far away. So
I know.
For me, I'm just gonna Billy actually races a lot during the off season. He kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know about a lot, but it's he keeps a race in here and there relatively often. So he's staying in the seat, staying fresh that way.
All right. So Raymond asked, are you going to be at New Egypt and Bridgeport at all this year? I think, they're series races, aren't there? Somewhere in there?
Yeah. Well, New Egypt has a Super Dirt Car Series race. So
that's in March 29th.
Yep.
Bridgeport, there is a Deo race in March. I don't think Dirt goes to Bridgeport, but they do go to Big Diamond. So that answers that question.
So we'll see. Bridgeport often has some other special events that we sometimes hit. Like I said, our unsanctioned events were pretty good for us last year, so maybe we'd go to one or two of those.
I didn't know that. Albany's season opener is with a Super Dirt Car Series race. Did you know that?
It is. Yeah, the opener for the entire season is a Super Dirt Series race.
That is. I don't think they've. I don't know. I don't want to say ever did that, but I was not aware of that. Did they put out their schedule yet, Albany?
Well, we know when the opener is, and they pretty much race every Friday after that. So
I guess it doesn't matter.
You know the schedule.
Yeah, we'll definitely be there. But what your thoughts on that? I guess was the question.
If anybody's gonna do it, it's Lyle. He can prep a racetrack for the first night, and it'll be good. For most racetracks, I wouldn't have recommended it. No, typically it'd be better get a show in, then do a big event after that the track's in order and everything's working good. Get the surface in order and all that. But Albany's, I think you can bet that it'll be great from night one on. So
yeah. So Dave asked, will you use both the toter and the new trailer at most races this year?
No, we'll probably not use both. We're going to split it up. So if you can imagine doing all of your maintenance on one truck and trailer during the off season and not having any time to do it during the season, and we would not make it through the 82 events that we did last year. You have to stop at some point and work on the truck, and there really isn't that much time to do it. So the idea is to split it up between the two. So for a lot of events, we will take the single car trailer, and then other events when we need the stacker and toter to stay overnight and to go to multiple day events, we would take that. So that's the way we're going to split it up.
Okay. Let's go. Brandon asked, help me out here with this. Was looking at your Big Nell for sale on Facebook was told that the chassis get all bent up after a season because they get made to flex so much. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean the chassis do flex quite a lot. They're made to flex, but that being said, they spring right back. I think there is something to be said to having a brand new chassis, but I've also taken a chassis that was, I don't think this thing's working, and just changed a motor in it, and it was like, oh, this is the best car I've ever had. So I feel like that's a good theory, but at the same time, different things work with different packages, and how much flex is the right amount of flex, right? We don't really have a way to measure that. So again, it's just with trial and error. So when you're buying a chassis, the main thing you want to look at is, is it the right chassis for where you're going to be racing, and what engine package you're going to use? And do you know the person? Can they help you out with it? Like for mine, I got a whole notebook on what we did with it and where we raced it, and what worked, what didn't work with that chassis. We're getting quite a few new ones for next year, so we're selling some of our older chassis, and
we need room.
Yeah, you gotta have room in the shop. So I'm very fortunate to have some new equipment and working on cycling things out.
I'm very disappointed your father's not on here. I thought for sure Jim is always like on it. What is he up to tonight?
I don't know. I didn't ask him, but maybe he's out to dinner or something.
Is he back in New York? Did they get back to New York?
I don't know.
Such questions I need answered. I need answered questions. Okay. While the questions roll
Where in the world is Jim Mahaney?
Where in the world is Jim Mahaney? I'm gonna text him. Tell them about the Facebook BS that you're going through right now.
So we got this. We got these guys that go on Facebook and they create an account. For me, it's this guy creates an account in my name and then posts apparel for sale in the comments and links and stuff that you can click on. It's not me. And then I report it to Facebook and they respond with, "We reviewed the profile your friend reported and found that it isn't pretending to be you and doesn't go against our community standards." When it clearly is pretending to be me. And how do they have any community standards if that's not one of them? But that's what's going on. And it's funny that you can report. I think you've been reported. I've been reported, and it's kind of hilarious that you like a real account can be reported, but you can't report a fake account that's clearly, like, obviously fake. I mean, there's no way this is a real person. What do I want to say?
Apparently your parents are here. They're just being quiet.
They made it. That's great. We're going to see them at my sister's house.
Apparently YouTube is throwing commercials randomly on this live. So
there's commercials?
Yeah. Are you guys gonna miss stuff? How does that work?
All right. I wonder what the commercials are.
Oh, it's catered to them.
Oh, they're all going to get different ones.
Yeah. Okay. So Jim and Kathy are in fact here and well. Okay. So, Peter, your thoughts on the possibilities of Albany Saratoga closing?
It's not up to me or anyone that I don't know. It's just it stinks that it's a possibility because it's a very historical racetrack, great place to race.
Yeah.
And but it's in a really marketable area for housing and business, and the property's probably worth a lot of money. So you can't help but think that eventually someday somebody's gonna want to buy it for something. But you'd love to see it stay as a racetrack, but and then people say, okay, we need to pack the place. Well, that's true too, but this place is packed every Friday night. I mean, I can't even find a place to park. So I don't know if that's the issue, but I think that if you really want to see racing be able to compete with the real estate market in that area, then the fans need to be willing to pay more money to get in. And to support it, and so they can think like, oh yeah, we make more money racing than we would having apartment complexes here or something like that. And that's pretty complicated. You'd have to look at paying higher prices like you do to watch football or basketball or other sports. So and that hasn't really gone over well in our sport that well lately. I mean, if you've seen races put up events that pay big money to the racer and the fans seem to complain or not go based off the ticket prices. And so then it's like, okay, we got to be realistic here, and this is what we're racing with. So we end up going back to what we have. So hopefully, just love to see the sport one way or the other. I'm just a driver. I don't but that's what I see.
I mean, it's pretty much out of our control. The biggest thing him, me, and you can do is just support the racetracks. We don't want to see any tracks close.
We go there every Friday and we race hard, and love to see the place keep going for years to come. Oh yeah, unbelievable.
So supportive. So Steven asked, I can totally answer this one. How long have you both been in racing? Since we were in diapers, pretty much. So 35 years, 32 years. Combined? What? No?
Oh, been in racing?
Yeah, he didn't say racing, been in.
Oh, okay.
Are you? Don't make me question myself.
Gotcha. Been in racing.
Oh my gosh, things just jumped around here. Okay, people are asking about Volusia again. You guys are hopping in late. Merry Christmas, Port Royal in March. That's a you question, dear.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Port Royal in March. I think that's a great racetrack. I really like racing there. I think it's a good modified racetrack. Puts on a good show, and hopefully everybody supports that one.
Jordan's here. What's up, Jordan? So Dig went through the same thing on Facebook. Picture of his car, but with Ryan Watt's face, and it was 2 ladies in China selling sunglasses. That's impressive. That's kind of it's insane. It's insane. Like there's even shirts, some old designs of my dad's old shirts that like randomly pop up, and they're like, "Oh, we're selling," and everyone's like, "Is this you? Is this you?" And I'm like,
but the person is not pretending to be you, and it doesn't go against our community standards.
Facebook. It's hard. I mean, we go through that a lot with especially like the Facebook pages. It looks like the Facebook account, like it looks like Mike Mahaney's racing page. It looks like Dirt Track Untold's page, and people are commenting, and it's like, "Oh, you won this," or "Oh, we're giving away that," and people are like clicking on it, and it's so hard because they like camouflage it to be as if it's us. It's very well done.
Yeah.
So you gotta just be alert with them. Larry asked, are there any tracks that have the 2-seat modifieds for the real race feel? Oh, I haven't seen. I know New Egypt used to, but I don't know if I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen one other than Autodrome Drummond. I drove the 2-seater car after the races were over one year. That was pretty fun. Mm-hmm. I think the fans really liked it. They had probably 5 or 10 people that either won it as a prize or paid to do it, and they were pumped up. They had a great time riding around in there. And when they do that, and they put either the fans' favorite driver in the seat to do it, or just one of the drivers from the track, it is a neat experience for them to see, what that's like. And then typically when they put us in there, we try to make it exciting for you guys, throw it in there a little extra hard just to scare you a little bit or something, make it fun.
So I can see it's a positive to offer the 2-seater, but I also see the downfall because people want quick shows, and when there's no racing on the track being held, the track should be getting track prep.
Yep.
I mean, it's only probably 5 laps.
Let's make the 2-seater the pace car or something. Or
you're not going that fast though.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
They should be going faster. I got a point right here about how they should be going faster. Every time we do the 4-wide, whoever's driving the pace car, you got to get out in front so we can get going on that. Because when they break up the 4-wide, how much cooler is it when we get to
take off
and everybody just races to the next corner to get in line. It's such a cooler show to watch when they do that. And I mean, this is a huge problem with me because we get out there and we have no control over how fast the pace car goes.
Yeah.
And they get like 20 feet in front of us. It's like, all right, guys, break it up. And there's no room.
Yeah.
We got to fix that.
We'll talk. We'll have our.
I guess I probably should have just brought that up in like a driver's meeting.
We can discuss that. We can discuss that.
No time for that.
Well, as if that's the one thing you're thinking about the driver's meeting.
Not usually. It's usually when I get out there and I got a receiver and I can't talk back to them to tell them that this is what they should be doing. But.
So, Dirt Rider KX500, Manny, when are you going to get in one, a car and a race against Mike and your brother? What's funny is Billy and I were saying we should go to S&S and we could totally, maybe we should just ride the track for a night and do the whole, the fam. We put GoPros on the cars. Maybe we'll even put microphones on us.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun. I think that'd be fun. Billy, we probably lost Billy's attention, so there's no way he's still on here.
Yeah, he
totally just dissed him.
got about
There's
5
no way.
minutes.
If that,
Yeah.
he hopped on, he was out. But I think that would be awesome. What do you guys think? I think that would be very, very entertaining. I'll have to text Ryan Smith and we'll have to collaborate something on that. Scott asks, is BP3 gonna race the slingshot indoors? He is not. He just got done. If you saw, I dropped that video the other day. He just got done doing league racing at Lehigh Valley Grand Prix. So he just finished that up. Really enjoyed that. But as of now, no, that would be so much. If Billy was racing indoors and BP3 was racing indoors,
yeah,
that's a lot. Okay, Delaney Dunn. Hello. Have you guys ever thought about coming to Unity Raceway, the rebuild former asphalt track turned to dirt? Do you know where that is?
Gonna have to do some research there. I have not.
Unity Raceway.
I've not watched a race there.
Oh, this is in Maine.
Oh no, that's cool.
Okay, all right. So it's not like. Let's look at some photos. When was it? Delaney, when was it turned to dirt? When did they turn it to dirt? This would be fun. This was 2 years ago. I'm Google searching right now, but here we go. There's Facebook. We're on Facebook. And thank you, Delaney. I'm looking at pictures. Are there any questions you can answer while I find
back to the 2-seater question. My dad said that he spun at the Milwaukee Mile with a cameraman with him, and that got his attention. Yeah, certainly. Like if you actually spun the car out with the 2-seater, that's gonna scare the guy.
Yeah.
But he didn't hit the wall. That was like the big thing. He spun it, but got close to the wall, didn't hit it, saved it.
This place looks kind of, look at the covered grandstands.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that.
Looks like Afton.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, that.
I got Dave that says Oswego Speedway used their 2-seat super modified to start features until it hit the wall one time.
Oops.
And they never brought it back.
Okay, so Unity Raceway is almost 8 hours from here, but let's see where it is from E-Town.
James Carney asked.
Still 6 hours and 20 minutes from E-Town.
That's a little ways.
Yeah, it's quite the drive, but that'd be cool. I definitely. Yeah, it's pretty far.
Put up some money, they'll come.
Absolutely. We should. Why are there no dirt tracks? I mean, we have Vermont, but like nothing in New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut. It's all. I've only ever been to those states for asphalt racing. Why don't they like dirt?
Because it's close to New York City. So you get closer there, they just want
asphalt.
They don't want dirt.
Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense, Mike. Do you understand?
Chuck says, Mike, do you miss the flying starts from turn 3 or starting in turn 4 like the older days? I do. I remember starting in the middle of the backstretch at Fonda, and I thought that was really fun. And then 2 years ago at the 200, I got in a wreck because they started in turn 4 and didn't go, and huge pileup ensued on the front stretch. So I liked when they started on the backstretch. It kind of got everybody spread out by the time we got onto the home stretch, which is where it's narrower at that track. So I'd love to see that come back. I really enjoyed that. We just started at the Fonda sign, wherever you wanted within that sign. That was the restart zone. I liked that. Everybody's used to turn 4 starts. I get that, but certain tracks it works and certain tracks it doesn't. And I think Middletown and Fonda were 2 places that it really worked to start earlier. And well, I don't know. Sometimes Middletown caused a lot of wrecks there, starting in turn 3 and stuff. But I guess that's just a matter of opinion. So.
Okay, so was it my imagination, or did some of the tracks stay wet and tacky towards the end of this past season compared to the last couple of years?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's always differences in how much snow we get in the off season, which like tends to stay throughout the season, right? Like if you get snow and it soaks into the clay throughout time, then the moisture's in there, and there's also differences in how much time does the track have to put water in it weekly. How much rain do we get? There's a ton of different factors, so it changes every year. I definitely feel like not this past year, but the year before was a really dry year. This past year wasn't as bad. I don't know what your thought is, but back to the restart thing. I really like that Grandview starts in turn 3. They just the flagger.
It makes sense.
The flagger waves the green flag and we go, and you don't have the leader and the outside pole guy stopping after they throw the green, going, that guy jumped me. It's like, it's not up to you. Like the flagger waves the green and you go.
Yeah.
And as soon as he says you go, not the leader gets to choose.
Yeah.
Which makes it a lot more even. We have a lot of guys that are feeling, when it's the leader decides to go, they feel entitled to slow down and wad up the field behind them, thinking like, that guy jumped to start, and not leaving it up to the flagger to make that call.
Yeah.
And there's really no way to stop it other than that. And when you're in turn 4 and the flagger is up in almost down halfway down the front stretch and he waves the green, it's too far away for them to make the call on whether they jumped it or didn't jump it or whatever. But when the flagger is right there, and at Grandview, he's right there and he waves the flag and the cars go right next to him, it's very obvious whether somebody jump start or not.
Yeah.
So I like that. I don't know, but it's just is what it is. On the next question.
I like Pat's question. I'm totally answering this. So Pat says, not to start a war, but what happened when you stopped being a Fonda regular? Well, what happened was when you stop being a Fonda regular is you don't get a good parking spot and they park you out.
Yeah, we go park.
That's it.
Way out back.
That's it. Yeah.
So, you have a hard time.
You just don't get a good parking spot,
you don't get to stand on your hauler to watch the races.
Yeah. So I think it was, I hope I pronounced this right, Alicia. For someone who has never been to a dirt race before, what track do you think we should go to first? Which one are you thinking?
That's really tough. There's a lot of really good ones. I think if you went to a race at
Port
Royal or Albany, Saratoga, or Brewerton, or Grandview, or Fulton, or Airborne, or
did we say Albany?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorites.
For sure.
Don't be mad at me for leaving your racetrack out. I just, whatever.
Listen, it's our preferences. Doesn't mean that another track.
Well, do you have different preferences than me?
Bridgeport, New Egypt, of course. I mean, just because I'm biased and I like those tracks.
You're a Jersey girl.
Yeah, I know. Bridgeport, if you want to see some like wicked slide jobs, which oh my god, they kill me sometimes. And then New Egypt, well, when Billy's racing there, I like New Egypt. Sorry, but not sorry. So, see, I can be biased. This is my channel. I can say what I want to say. This is an interesting question. Justin asked, what is your favorite type of dirt?
Central New York clay. The stuff.
Do they get them all from the same place?
Not like exactly, but if you get it from like the stuff they get for Oswego, the stuff they use at Fulton, Brewerton, Utica, Rome, those tracks get clay that slicks off, polishes up, doesn't take rubber. So it ends up with racing the entire way across the turn and doesn't lay rubber in one spot and create a dominant lane so we can't pass. So that clay, if you brought it to Charlotte or Cherokee or like these tracks that lay rubber, it would make the racing better. But it's just the cost to ship it there. It's not there's plenty of dirt or clay, I should say, but the cost of getting it there is the issue. And I know they spend a lot for Oswego.
Yeah.
But they have a huge event that supports that.
We have our home tracks dirt in a bottle on our mantle.
Yeah.
So when we got married, bear with me on this, I don't remember what it was called, but like, how like people like pour sand together when they're getting married, or they do something like kind of like.
So we got samples from our home tracks. My home track was Fulton.
I stole some dirt.
Hers was New Egypt. And what's interesting about that is that it's changed a little bit. So I think
in the jar.
Fulton's been the same for forever because it just comes from right there. But
yeah. New Egypt's definitely
the dirt from Fulton is that same clay I was just talking to you about, where the stuff in the jar from New Egypt is a lot like beach sand, and it's gritty and doesn't bind together that well. Yeah. But in the past, like 2 years ago, they got some really good stuff to put on New Egypt, and it's a whole different surface now.
Yeah.
So their track has raced really well the past couple of years because of that. It's gotten a lot wider. They're running a higher line through the corners and down the back stretch and everything. It's pretty cool to watch because I think it's definitely improved the racing a lot. And I don't know where they got that clay from, but it works pretty good.
Yeah. So I just mapped it. So why I asked, why don't you come to Georgetown more like Billy? I mean, you can help me out with this, but where the 35 team is held is in Elizabethtown, New York. And so to run like Friday nights like Billy runs, that would be at least 8 hours.
Plus we run Friday nights at Albany, Saratoga.
Correct.
We're in a different area. So in Elizabethtown, our closer tracks, Airborne, Albany, Devil's Bowl, Cornwall, Mohawk, even Autodrome, Granby, and Drummond are closer than going to a lot of these tracks that are in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. So that's where we end up.
So Shane just texted us and said, "My brother's an a-hole for asking that question." Shane, we love you. You can come to Team 35. We already discussed this. We can share. We can share. Okay. There was another. So the Valley got a makeover. Did you? It's news to me.
Well, it's been going through a makeover for the past year or two. They've definitely widened the turn a lot, made it more even from the top to the bottom, and it's extremely wide in the turns. I mean, something like you've never seen before. So if you haven't been back to Lebanon Valley in the past year or two, you kind of got to see it to believe what they did to it. It's not like any other racetrack I've ever seen. So race is a lot different. They're throwing more slide jobs and it's just a whole different show. They also have a different surface. It hasn't really been as hard on tires as it used to be. And, I only went there for a rain out last year, so I'm not really the one that should be speaking on it. This is just what I've seen from the outside looking in. But the year before this past year, I went and it was a lot different.
Would you like to fill them in? So, I don't know. I was just going at that, but would you like to fill them in on what you've been doing in the shop?
Oh, the shop, all kinds of stuff. So we've, let's see, we stripped 3 cars. We have 3 chassis for sale. 2 of them have bodies.
Which ones?
One is Juliet, one's Jolene, and the other one I don't remember the name. But
You should listen.
we have
put them up for sale.
We have a 2022, a 2021, and a 2017 chassis for sale. We've been assembling a brand new chassis with used parts off of the other one. We found some parts in that process that need to be replaced. Yep. So that was good. Took some engines to get rebuilt. We're doing some head swaps, block swaps, different things with our big block program. And let's see, painting parts, sent stuff out to get powder coated. We ordered a new chassis, deciding whether we're getting one or two. Art came up for a week, fixed all kinds of stuff, got the parts washer working again, got a whole car stripped down, got all kinds of stuff going on. Lance is going through a knee injury. I want to say it's torn meniscus. I'm probably saying the wrong word. But he's recovering from that. Jacob's doing a great job putting together a new car. And there's a lot of things happening. Yeah. That I've been away from the past few days, getting a little break from. And
so we'll have to do a video in January to update you guys on everything, because I've been down here, and then I go up there, and then we're over there, and then we're in the next place, and then this coming week we're unplugging, we're disappearing for a few days, and I cannot wait. It's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be great. I mean, I'm sure I'll still videotape stuff, but
we still have a lot to do. We still have to go through the truck and trailer, do maintenance on those, on the toter and the stacker, like the parts and everything in the trailer need to be gone through and restocked. Sometimes we steal those to put together the new cars. It's like, okay, we got these parts in here, let's use them, and then we'll restock them later. We're still in the process. We got all the parts now. We can put the water pump back on the small block and get that back running. There's all the engines have been fogged. I mean, I don't know, it's just a daily a lot of everything.
Yeah, a lot of everything. So that's what's been happening here. You guys killed it with all the questions. If we didn't answer them, just drop them in again, and we'll try and get back to them. If not tonight, tomorrow, the next few days. But Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. We hope that you guys are enjoying the off season. I know not many people are, because there's not a lot of racing, but we will be back literally before you know it. So it was great. If you enjoy this, let us know if you want us to do some more lives. And anything you'd like to add?
No, thank you guys for watching. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll do some more videos in the future and keep you updated.
All right. See you guys. Thanks for coming in.
See ya.